Hey guys, welcome back to Film Chaser, and today I'm going to be talking about The Collector from 2009, a horror movie that has somewhat of a cult status nowadays, is very beloved in the horror community, and I think it's great as well. So today I'm going to be talking about it. It also has a sequel, The Collection, and there was supposed to be a third movie that got scrapped not too long ago, unfortunately. And the premise for this flick is just so juicy, such a great concept about this guy gonna perform a heist. He's going in to break into a safe in this house while the family is gone, only to learn that there is a killer in the house who set up traps everywhere and who is basically like torturing the family in the house as well. And I love these type of home invasion movies with the twist, whether it be like Don't Breathe or like The People Under the Stairs is another good example. You're Next. They're not your standard home invasion movies, right? And yeah, I just absolutely love the story to this one. And the way the story plays out is very suspenseful, full of tension. It's got you on the edge of your seat. And there's never really a dull moment. The movie runs at a really fast pace. It's only 90 minutes long and it kind of just flies by. And it's just really dark and twisted and brutal. We'll get into the traps a little later, but yeah, this movie is not for the faint of heart. And I really like the main character in this, Arkin, played by Josh Stewart. He's a very layered character. He has a lot of human qualities. He's believable. I love the way he's written, right? He has been doing renovations at this house, scoping the place out so that he can perform this heist, so he can go in and rob them, right? Get stuff out of their safe, this jewel or whatever. But before the movie tells you he's a thief, it really shows you how good of a person he could be. He has a little tea party with the girl at the house while he's doing the renovations. He mentions he has his own daughter of his own and trying to figure out like what's the hottest toy for kids right now from that girl. And he ends up going out and buying a bear for his daughter. And it's all really heartfelt. You feel like he cares for his daughter. And then you find out that he owes his wife money and she really needs it because there's loan sharks after her and they only have till midnight to get the money, right? So you see that him and his wife aren't together anymore. He definitely has problems, and then you come to find out he's been in prison or jail before and met some shady people who he now works with, scoping out these houses, pretending to do renovations to later hit them up and rob them. So he realizes tonight's the night he has to do this heist. He has to break into this house. The family's gone and he needs to try to save his ex-wife from trouble, right? But like I said, once he gets in there, gets to the safe, he realizes he's not alone. He hears like screaming and that in the house. He finds out the family is all tied up, being tortured, and the house is completely booby-trapped. I mean, there's traps everywhere, gnarly traps too. And I just love the moral dilemmas that this movie provides for our main character, Arkin, because it's like he's already robbed the place. He's technically a bad guy, but he's doing it for a good reason, right? But then he ends up in a situation. Does he just try to bail out of this house once he realizes there's a killer in the house? Does he try protecting this family, trying to save them? And try to find this little girl who's still hiding in the house, who hasn't gotten caught. And it just brings up a really interesting moral compass for him, right? And there's one part of the movie where he does get out of the house, and then he has to make that decision. Does he go back, try to rescue the little girl? And him having a little girl of his own just really adds to all that. And it's just really fun and full of tension to see Arkin roaming around this house, trying not to get caught and to save this family. And you really get that like cat and mouse dynamic between the killer and Arkin, especially once the killer realizes he's in the house. And speaking of the killer, I think he is a really cool character as well. Just his look. I mean, he has this really, it's almost like a wrestling mask, but more deformed and like dark gray. And the rest of his clothes are all in black. He has like these throwing knives and everything. And the way he utilizes his traps is really interesting as well. I mean, we'll get into the traps in a little bit, but they're very brutal, very violent. And yeah, this guy is just creepy as hell, very intimidating. He makes like weird squealing noises at certain parts. And it's interesting to try to figure out who this guy is. And they do give you an answer at the end. And it makes the movie that much more fun to rewatch to see if you can pick up clues along the way. And again, I just like how it's a bit more grounded with him. He's not supernatural, he's not ghost or a demon or anything like that. He's a regular type of guy, but he's not stupid. And I also like he has like a dog outside on watch, right? If anybody tries to get near the house or escape through the back, he has a dog on watch there. So there's a lot to him. He's interesting. He's unique. And as I stated, his traps are no joke. I mean, he sets up bear traps all over the kitchen, which you get a really cool kill in with someone falling into them and their limbs flying everywhere and getting crushed. It's bloody. It's gory. It goes into that Saw territory, this being the writers of Saw 4, 5, and 6 who made this movie. But it also stands above the Saw movies in a way. This is more than just a torture movie, right? Where you sit there and see people in traps. I like how it mixes the heist elements, home invasion elements, slasher elements, and of course there's some of that torture subgenre in here as well. But they're all blended together in a really awesome and original way. We also got like a sticky floor room. It's almost like sticky acid, and the cat ends up in that along with Arkin at one part. So that's kind of cool and gross at the same time. And there's a lot of like knife and wire traps and different things with like fish hooks and stuff. And then you got the torture side of things too, with the family, with them like tied up in the bathtub and disembowelments happening and everything. It's very gritty and dark, which another thing I can appreciate. The movie doesn't try to soften its tone with humor at times or nothing. No, it's very serious and dark throughout. And they also do a good job at taking this movie and placing it basically in one location in this house. And they never make it feel dull or boring. Like I said, the pacing is great, and you're always like roaming around this house in interesting ways or around the yard or whatever. It never feels like a dull moment. And the atmosphere that this movie creates with its rain and thunder and lightning. You also get some cool lighting with that too in the house. A lot of times the thunder and lightning's going off outside, which makes these like blue flashes and stuff in the house. And the movie also uses like a green filter, like tint in certain scenes, which was like a product of the 2000s. You've seen it in the Saw movies. We've seen it in The Ring. A lot of 2000 movies use that, and I thought it's really cool to see that in here. It's a bit nostalgic for me. And the camera work is really good in here too. You get some nice overhead shots of like the vehicle showing up to the house. One of on top of rooms in the house where you can see like the walls and stuff. You're above that and seeing two different people in two rooms. I love shots like that. And we get some different camera swings and that in here. And this was not a big budget movie, guys. This is online. It says between 3 and 6 million, depending where you look at the info. It seems to be around 4 million to me, but that's a pretty small budget for a movie like this. But you would never know it watching it. But the movie is not perfect. There are a few instances that bring this down just a tiny bit for me. You kind of have to turn your brain off for them. One of them being where Arkin and he has the little girl in the house, and this is when he escapes the house. How he tricks the collector into using a mirror to make him think that they're in one place, but they're really somewhere else. It's just a reflection. I'm like, there's no way you thought that was actually them and not a mirror at the door. Especially for how smart this killer is throughout the film. It makes that scene make him feel stupid and just less believable. So I never liked that part of the movie. And not to mention when Arkin finally does get out of the house and the cops are coming down the road, his stupid ass goes in front of them and gets hit by the cop car. It's like as if they wouldn't have seen you if you were just standing on the side of the road waving your arms. You don't have to go directly in front of them for them to hit you. That was just, again, stupid. And one thing I kind of always wondered about this film is the way the collector booby traps this entire house like crazy. There's traps everywhere when he already has the family tied up or whatnot. Like, you could make a claim saying that that was for in case one of them got loose, they could get into one of these traps, but he does go a little overboard with the traps. Or you could say, what if someone else tried coming into the house, like the boyfriend and girlfriend, or like the daughter and boyfriend do at one part of the movie. But yeah, it just seems kind of excessive and kind of pointless when you already have the family subdued at that point, aside from the little girl. So yeah, it's visually nice and it's cool. it makes a cool concept for the movie, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you really start to think about it. But aside from those little nitpicks, this is a fantastic friggin' flick that every horror fan should experience. You should definitely go and try to get yourself a copy on Blu-ray like I did here. The Blu-ray is not the best quality. It's still kind of grainy, I found, for this type of transfer. But it never hurt my enjoyment of the film or anything. It's still a good enough copy. I just thought it could have been cleaned up a bit more. So maybe if you can catch the DVD, it'd be just as good as the Blu-ray. I don't know. But yeah, definitely check this out if you haven't. I haven't given away the killer twist on who it is in this video. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. But once you do find it out, I find it kind of makes sense how some of his traps are laid out. It just adds a little bit more to the character. It's not so random, the twist. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. So if you like dark horror movies with a lot of tension and atmosphere, really good practical effects when it comes to the traps and the kills, and a compelling lead character, then definitely go watch The Collector. It has a few flaws, but the good definitely outweighs the bad, and it is definitely worth being in your collection. Every horror fan should have it. And there you go. So I definitely recommend this. I think this movie is great. I will probably review the sequel in the next week or so, since I just did this one and there's only two. And unfortunately, like I said, we never did get part 3. It started in production and everything, and then they ended up scrapping it, and it's just terrible. I feel like a lot of us horror fans would have went out and supported it. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy reviews like this. Also, go subscribe to my other channel, The Movie Ranker, if you enjoy franchise rankings, director rankings, any type of movie rankings is over there. Link is in the description of this video, guys. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.